Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris. We are fast approaching another Bloodstock weekend, so I knew I had to return and make another guide video for you all of all the new things to expect this year. I should preface, if you haven't yet seen the previous guide videos I've done over the last couple of years, the main Bloodstock guide video that sort of encompasses the entire weekend in a more general sense, that is linked down below. That's the mega one that goes over all the specific details about Bloodstock specifically, and is perfect for newbies, so if you haven't been to Bloodstock before, go check out that one first. This video will be more about reaffirming some stuff I said from previous years, as well as explaining a couple new developments that you can expect at this year's Bloodstock. So, to address some stuff that I mentioned last year, I mentioned in the first beginner's guide that on the first day of the festival, namely the Wednesday/Thursday when people are coming in to set up, you were allowed to leave the site after you've pitched your tent to go back to your car, pick up more of your stuff, and then you could skip the main queue. You go back in basically through the Wristband re-entry point, meaning you didn't have to queue in that really long queue twice. However, in 2023, and again last year in 2024, we have been denied this luxury by security and had to queue up in the main queue again. So that now happening 2 years back to back, I am pretty confident this little hack is now gone for good. I do understand, to be fair, if people are going out and bringing in more bags of stuff, they should be checked to make sure that everything has gone through the proper security sweep. It still sucks, because now, unfortunately, if you have a load of stuff with you, you now need to somehow bring it through on your first trip if you don't want to re-queue. It sucks, but it's just the way it is now. In typical Bloodstock fashion, same as for the last couple years, a bunch of bands for 2026's Bloodstock, including all three main stage headliners, will be announced on the Friday evening. They'll announce nearer the time when specifically that's going to happen on Friday. The last few years it's normally been later on in the day. Last year it was after the sub-headliner, but make sure you keep an eye on the socials to find out for certain when that's going to be, because you don't want to miss it. Quick Chris from the editing room interjection here, since I've recorded this video, Vicky Hungerford has since announced that this announcement will go on after Lacuna Coil have finished their set. They've said approximately time 6:15 at the main stage on Friday. So, as I said before, make sure you don't miss it. It's going to be incredible. I filmed this section for the Bloodstock vlog last year, but I won't be filming it again this year. I want to enjoy the moment raw, if that makes sense. No doubt it will get posted online immediately after it happens, so if you do miss out, you can go check it out. Wednesday early entry is back with a small additional fee. These are in very short supply at the time of me writing this, so grab one now if you want one. These tickets are not valid for VIP or accessibility camping. For those, you have to arrive on the Thursday as normal. Also, if you're travelling via Big Green Coach, there is no service on the Wednesdays. You arrive on the Thursday as normal. I mentioned in last year's video that I would report back on whether I thought this was worth the additional cost. Sure, it's a relatively cheap extension. I think it's about 20 quid or something like that. But, you know, you do have to book an extra day off work. You've got to bring an extra day's worth of rations with you and beer. So I would say if you don't need this day, then you don't need to get it. Your space will be a little bit limited on Thursday when you get there and when you can camp, but if you're not precious about camping in one specific spot of the site, you don't need to do this early entry option if you would rather not. You're not really missing out on that much, to be honest. I'm going, of course, because I love Bloodstock, I love the Bloodstock community, and I want to experience as much of it as possible, so I will be there on the Wednesday. That being said, there's not nothing to do on the Wednesday. I spoke with Lloyd from the After Hours Entertainment team recently on the channel, go check that out if you like, and he was telling me about some of the stuff they've got planned for Midgard over the course of the weekend. There will be a couple of things planned for Wednesday. I think the cinema's coming back, but I'm not sure what they're showing, but it'll be something metal related, at the very least. Legal bin jousting is back. They said they're going to be improving it. We shall see on that front. I mean, I'll give them credit where it's due. It was a noble effort last year to bring the crowd favourite Bloodstock spectacle into something official and safe, but it was missing a little bit of the carnage that kind of was the point of the whole thing to begin with. I get the festival's position on this. They have to make that step to do this, but I think this could be a last chance attempt. If this goes down limply again like it did last year, I won't be surprised if people just flat out ignore it forever and it will just sort of dwindle away. But again, we'll have to wait and see. We'll see how they have improved it. This isn't specific to 2025 specifically, but I have seen a rise of people on the forums asking this year and last year. There is no secret set at Bloodstock this year. Machine Head's secret set was amazing, but it was a 2022 one-off special event. I'm not saying Bloodstock will never have a secret set again, but this isn't download who overused the gimmick. There isn't one planned for this year, and if there is, they haven't spoken about it, which is kind of what you'd expect from a secret set anyway. But I'm 99.9% sure they would have announced if there was one, and Bloodstock don't usually do that kind of thing. So, no secret set, don't worry about missing anything. Normally, Bloodstock will announce big special events like this. So let's move on to this year specifically. This is an almost completely sold out Bloodstock. The only tickets left, as far as I'm aware, are Friday day tickets. Sorry, trivia. All other ticket types across the weekend have been completely sold out. This will be a busy one. If you remember back to 2023, where the Sunday was sold out, the arena got really packed. It's not that bad, to be honest. I have seen a lot worse at other festivals, but do keep in mind there will be quite a few bottlenecks of people as the arena opens each day, and especially after the headliners have finished and everyone's leaving the arena. But this might be slightly less of an issue this year because my prayers have been answered. Thank God the fairground rides are gone. Thank you, Bloodstock, so much. They have said this is a trial thing to see if it makes things better for the festival, and I really hope this sticks because I hate those damn things. They are loud, they are an eyesore, they ruin people trying to watch the Sophie bands when they're stood outside the tent because it's full, and they just get in the way when people are trying to leave the arena after the headliners. They're just plonked there in the way when you're trying to get out. Sorry if you like them, I know plenty of people do, but this is a welcome change in my eyes. I hope they are gone for good. So basically, to round off about the whole point about crowds, as with any event in the summer, when surrounded by thousands of people, make sure you stay hydrated, for the love of God, and look after your belongings. Don't take anything you don't need, use those lockers if you've got them, and look out for one another. Bloodstock is such a friendly festival. Be good to other people, and they'll be good to you. First big shake-up this year is the addition of a brand new campsite. Now pay attention, because if this applies to you, this is not your normal kind of campsite. After the festival sold out back in October, Bloodstock announced that they would add a new campsite called Cure. Is that how it's pronounced? Cure? Then they released a very limited number of new weekend tickets. The caveat for the second run of tickets is that they would be for access to Cure campsite only. I don't have one of these tickets, I'm general admission, but look at your ticket carefully. If it says something along the lines of Cure camping or quiet camping or anything else like that, you can only camp in Cure for the whole weekend. We don't yet know how this is being enforced. I would presume that there will be a separate wristband and you will be given access to that campsite and denied access to other campsites, and people who are general admission will be denied access to Cure. That being said, if we look here on the site map, it appears Cure is accessed via Midgard and Hell, so who knows, maybe some people will chance it and just camp wherever. I know it's very easy for me to say this, as I was lucky enough to get a general admission ticket before they were gone, but I would seriously suggest you consider not chancing it and camping wherever the hell you please. This event is sold out, they have capacity limits for a reason. I'll just leave that there. Cure is also labelled as quiet camping, therefore it's likely will be observing the same rules as Ragnarok, the general admission quiet campsite. No noise at all after midnight. That is going to sting for a lot of people, I'm sure. Late nights at Bloodstock are always a blast, and at least if you camp in Ragnarok, you can join the shenanigans and head back to your quiet camp. Here, allegedly, you can't do that. You have to stick in Cure. Again, I'm not sure how strict they are going to be about this, and I'm not going to patronize you and tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. But if you want to call their bluff and go milling around in a campsite you're not meant to be in and risk getting kicked out, on your own head be it. Now for the other big shake-up of the festival. I speak of one of the most controversial topics in all of Bloodstock. Over the last few years, the one point of contention that sparks debates all across the forums and never seems to get resolved has been the number of people parking their chairs in front of the various stages, and especially the Ronnie James Dio stage. To be fair, I do completely get the annoyance. Again, if we go back to that sold-out Sunday in 2023, the sea of chairs that was surrounding the main stage was ridiculous. It made for getting around the main stage a real pain in the ass. However, I am not about to start telling people, do not sit down. Plenty of people need to. They can't stand in one spot for an extended period, so their chairs are necessary for them to actually do the festival because they have medical reasons. This year, being an entirely sold-out weekend, Bloodstock have brought in a new rule. Again, if we consult the map, the main stage area is a chair-free zone, and according to the rules section on the website, the Sophie stage and the New Blood will have chair-specific areas that you have to stick to if you want to sit down. This has been a huge point of contention for the reasons I described a little minute ago. Some people need to sit down, but plenty of people consider these chairs to be, at best, irritating, and at worst, unsafe in the event of an emergency. Now, to be clear here, if you read the section about chairs on the website, it does say able-bodied people can no longer bring chairs, only those with health issues who cannot stand for periods of time will be allowed to use them. So I suspect if you need one for the main stage, you might be able to get away with it and use it without bother. It's not especially clear on that front, I will be honest. Obviously, the chair assigned areas in the Sophie and New Blood stage, you should have no bother whatsoever if you just explain you have a medical need. But the main stage? Do they just have no chair options at all? It's not especially clear, I will grant you. The map also suggests that the chair-free zone is all the way to the EMP stage and nearly the Sophie stage, but remember this map is not to scale. The Sophie stage is close to EMP stage, but not that close. Unless, of course, it's been moved a little bit. The space that basically is the area directly in front of the main stage. This, I think, is going to be another case of, let's see how this all plays out, and I'll give you feedback after the fest has gone down, and I'll tell you how this has all gone, and what to expect for next year should they bring this policy back. I suspect they probably will, if they sell in numbers like they have for this year. But for now, the official line, and this is all I'll leave you with on this front, don't bring chairs if you physically don't need them, and if you do, you have to observe the chair-designated areas. If you don't need one, don't bring it. Again, you do you. So I think that about does it for new info you need to know ahead of Bloodstock 2025. This was quite a short one, thankfully. My closing advice would be, as always, go join BMF666 if you still have Facebook. Many of the announcements are usually displayed there, and it's where a lot of us veterans will talk about the festival, giving advice for new people and whatnot. Again, check your ticket. Make sure you know if you are limited to Cure campsite. Go check out my guides from the previous years for old info and recurrent info. Tune into our lineup video that will be coming out hopefully next week, where we talk about the entire lineup, well, all the bands we want to see, all bands we recommend you check out and should be excited for. And remember, don't be a dick, and I'll see you all at Bloodstock 2025. Until that weekend comes, go listen to some amazing heavy metal, and we'll see you in the next video.